Welcome. Today, I want to talk about the concept of launches for freelancers. We've been getting some questions, and I've been seeing some ads lately saying things like, if you're not launching your business as a service provider, you're making a big mistake, you're leaving money on the table, all that kind of thing. Very alarmist, but of course, because it's alarmist, very effective copy. So what I wanted to do was to give you the lowdown about what launches are, whether they actually are necessary for service providers, and exactly why or why not. So what is a launch? Well, a launch is effectively, you see it a lot for new businesses, new offerings, a lot for like courses, for example. There's a big lead up to, hey, something's coming, here's all this exciting stuff, something's coming, blah, 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 all this anticipation and excitement. And then boom, there's an open cart, here's all the stuff that you can get. So it's called a launch really because there's kind of like, if you imagine an airplane taking off, an airplane launching, kind of launching, think of it more with spaceships or shuttles, that kind of thing. But there's that runway where it's speeding up and the audience's anticipation is growing, and then eventually take off and woohoo, you have the opportunity to purchase this course and yay, and usually there's a limited time. Most courses launch once or twice a year, sometimes a couple more than that, it depends. But the concept is that it's a limited time and there's all this excitement leading up to it so that when it's time to launch, woohoo, everybody's clamoring for it and they can't wait to get in. Yes, and this makes a lot of sense for courses. It makes a lot of sense for various types of businesses. You see it a lot with courses though. That's a big thing about how it's taught, how selling courses is taught. But I want to talk about this concept of launching for service businesses. The idea is that so the idea again behind a launch is there's a lot of anticipation, something's coming, and then woo, you have the opportunity to get in, but it's a very limited period of time. And if you don't purchase within that time, then you have to wait until the next launch. And here's the thing, as a service provider who, remember, your focus is on the needs of your clients, your customers, that launch model doesn't quite work. And in my humble, but I'm going to go ahead and say expert opinion, if I may be so bold, trying to force the service model into the launch model is a very interesting thing to sell and maybe a very compelling thing to sell, but it doesn't put the needs of our clients first. As a service provider, we need to be available to our clients when they need us. And so this idea of you can only purchase within this period of time, while that is exciting and maybe we like the idea because maybe we'll get a bunch of sales within this period of time, it's not providing service in the way that our clients actually need us to provide service, which is to be there when they need that work done. We can't force them to want copywriting services when they don't actually need it. And putting those parameters around it is really a disservice to our clients. And the idea that you have to have this lead up of anticipation to the moment that the doors open, it's not necessary either. When we send pitch emails that really, really focus on the benefit to our clients of the work that we do, that is what's compelling to our clients. And when we make it about them and their needs and how we can help their businesses, that's what's compelling to our clients. And the thing is that the launch model for businesses, for courses, that kind of thing, basically the way that it works, which I'm not actually a fan of even for courses, which is, you may have realized we do it a little bit differently. But the concept is that they have like for every time they launch, they get big influx of purchases, but then in between those launches, there's nothing. And whether you're a service provider or whether you're a course creator, that's not a great way to manage your finances. Whereas when you are regularly pitching, you're ensuring that work is regularly coming in. That's one of the reasons why we say you have to be pitching regularly. That the concept of ebb and flow, or the concept of feast and famine, that up and down happens when you are not reaching out to potential clients consistently and following up with past clients consistently. It's when the pitching drops off, that a couple of weeks, a couple of months later, the work drops off. Pitching equals work. So if you're not pitching regularly, you will eventually not be working regularly. That's just how it works. It's a very simple equation, but trust me, it is a true equation. And so this concept of launching your services doesn't really make any sense. I mean, it's a smart, from a marketing standpoint, it's smart to try to force this from their standpoint, the people who are trying to sell this course or courses or systems. It's a clever marketing concept to try to marry the concept of launching and services, but unfortunately, it doesn't really work out for the service provider. I mean, would you want to work with an electrician who only 2 or 3 times a year would launch their services, and you have to buy in March if you ever want to have their electrical services at any point during the year? I mean, that just doesn't make sense, right? You need your electrician when you need your electrician, and you don't want to buy in March for potentially needing electrical services in September. This is not how it works. And quite frankly, it's not the way it works with copywriters, and it's not the way it works with any other service provider either. Remember that, there are a lot of techniques that might seem like they're easier for us, and they might seem like they're more exciting, but what they end up doing is being of less value to our clients and to our potential clients. And remember that our clients and our potential clients, our focus always has to stay on them. And when we keep our focus on what our clients need and what is valuable to our clients, that automatically builds our businesses. Because when we are focused on our clients and what they need, we are doing our best work. We're coming up with new projects that would be valuable to them, that they would say, yes, absolutely, let's do that. We are staying on top of the industry. We are being valued partners, which means that we are so valued in our clients' eyes that they're happy to refer us. If we are valued partners and we're putting our clients' needs first and our clients' businesses, not first, but in terms of before ours, but when we bring real value to the table, then our clients are happy to refer us to other entrepreneurs, to other business owners they know, or other marketing directors, or whatever. When you are a valuable partner and you put their needs, you make their needs front and center, then they are thrilled. I worked with a real estate agent just a little while ago. Fantastic experience. Fantastic. And now, if anybody even mentions buying or selling a house, I'm like, oh, you need to work with this real estate agent, because they were that good. And the thing is, when we are that good as a service provider, we get referred, and people call us, and it's that much easier to sell and to hit our income goals and all that kind of thing. And you don't need, fancy systems that might sound like and sometimes it feels like if we put a credit card down for 8 different programs that we're moving ahead, but buying things doesn't equate to moving ahead. Don't get me wrong, I'm all about investing, and I regularly taking buying courses and buying courses for me, buying courses for our team, but you have to actually take action on that. And sometimes it can feel like when we buy a bunch of different courses that we're moving ahead, but we're actually just spending money, which, believe me, I have been guilty of in the past. But specifically with this idea of launching your services, when you're evaluating, things to do, the newest technique, the new buzz. You always want to evaluate whether or not it's actually going to be of value to your clients and your potential clients. Because if it's not, if it doesn't put their needs first and their experience first, it's not going to work. And you're going to end up spending a lot of time to create launches that maybe get you some clients, but just because they had to take action in that moment and you're a good copywriter, so you got them to take action, but that's going to leave out a wide variety of clients who are going to go, I don't know why I can only purchase from you within this 2-week time frame when I don't know when or how I'm going to need you in the future. The much better way to do it is to be a regular and consistent partner, and to regularly be pitching, and of course to follow up, and not just the follow up 1 and 2 weeks afterwards, but if you haven't heard from people, follow up 3 months later, follow up 6 months later. And I know this sounds like a lot, and wouldn't this little launch system be so much better? No, frankly, the following up is super easy, as those of you in the CCA know, super easy. But I want to give you my take on this concept of launching. And again, it's like, it's new, it's special, it's a different system. I would encourage you to, instead of getting distracted by things that are shiny and great advertising copy, I would encourage you to really put effort toward what works and what I can promise you works. And that's taking consistent action and being a regular and dependable partner for your clients and your prospective clients. So that's my take on this concept of launching your services. You don't need to launch your services. The second you go into business, you technically are launching your services. You do need to let people know, put it on your Facebook page, put it on LinkedIn or whatever, let people know that you're a copywriter, but you don't have to do a launch. You just need to reach out. You need to send those pitch emails. You need to let people know that you're writing copy. You need to interact in Facebook groups, offer some feedback, provide value, be of value. You don't need the salesy element of limited time launches. Limited time launches for electricians, for plumbers, for graphic designers, for copywriters, none of it makes any sense. So don't get distracted by shiny new things, and don't get distracted by thinking, if I just buy all of these different courses and do all of these different things. This kind of goes back to the concept of focus. Stay focused, take action, do the steps, and you'll see the success you want. But you do have to take action. You have to take action consistently. Send those pitch emails.